We're going to talk about a financial strategy that's literally thousands of years old, but it might just be the perfect tool for our crazy modern world. It's a way to protect your biggest goals from the one person who can mess it all up, your future impulsive self.
So, it all goes back to this ancient story about the Greek hero Ulysses. He was about to sail past the Sirens, whose song was so beautiful, so irresistible, that it drove sailors to crash their ships on the rocks. And he was smart. He knew willpower alone wasn't going to cut it. So he made a pact. He had his crew stuff their ears with wax, and then he ordered them to tie him to the ship's mast and to ignore him, no matter how much he begged to be set free. That one decision is the key to everything we're talking about today.
Okay, so fast forward to today. The threat has changed, but it hasn't gone away. Ulysses had to deal with mythical creatures. We have to deal with something way more constant. The Siren song, today, that's the one-click buy button. It's the targeted ads that literally follow you from site to site. It's the market panic you see on the news with experts telling you to sell everything. Or it's that get-rich-quick scheme that sounds just a little too good to be true. They're all designed to do the same thing, make you act on emotion and completely shipwreck your financial plans.
Right, so we've got these modern-day sirens all around us. But where's the real danger coming from? Well, the truth is, the biggest threat isn't out there. It's in here. The enemy is already on board the ship, and it's our own brain.
Let's just be honest about this. All the research points to one thing. When it comes to money, we humans are deeply, profoundly irrational. Basically, we're hardwired to value right now way more than we value the future. We're built for immediate gratification, and that puts us in direct conflict with any kind of long-term goal, especially saving and investing.
And the science behind this has a name. It's called present bias. It's our brain's natural default setting to choose a smaller reward right now over a bigger one later on. It's why getting $100 today feels so much better than being promised $110 next week. This isn't some kind of character flaw, It's a cognitive bias we all have. It's the engine that drives impulse buys and procrastination.
And this is where we're at our weakest, right? Our worst money decisions are almost always emotional. Think about the last time you bought something you regretted. Were you hungry, angry, tired, bored, feeling overwhelmed? How many times has one of these feelings led you straight to your wallet? Just recognizing these triggers is a huge first step.
So if our own brains are basically programmed for impulse, how in the world do we fight back? Well, that's the trick. We don't. We outsmart them. We do exactly what Ulysses did. We tie ourselves to the mast.
And that brings us to the star of the show, the Ulysses Pact. You can think of it as a pre-commitment. It's a choice your rational, calm self makes today to put some rules in place. Why? To protect your future emotional self, the one who's going to hear that siren song and want to act impulsively. It's your best self building a fortress to keep your worst impulses in check.
I just love this quote from Michael Kemp. It's so simple and so true. It's a promise. It's a decision you make freely right now that will stop you from doing something, well, stupid later on. It's not about restriction. It's about freedom. Freedom from future regret.
So what does that actually look like? It means you are intentionally designing your environment so that making the right choice is the easy choice, the default. The whole point is to make good financial decisions inevitable, not just something you have to choose every single day. Because let's be real, willpower is like a phone battery. It runs out. A good system works even when you're running on empty.
All right, so that's the big idea. It sounds great in theory, but how do we actually do this? How do we build these packs in our own lives? Let's get practical and turn this concept into action.
It really boils down to 3 simple steps. First, you have to get real with yourself and identify your sirens. Is it scrolling Amazon late at night? Is it panic selling your stocks when the market gets shaky? You have to know your weakness. Second, you design your constraints. This is where you build the rules and the automated systems. And third, create some accountability. Packs are way more powerful when someone else knows about them. Tell your spouse, tell your financial advisor, make it a real commitment.
Okay, let me give you a really powerful, concrete example of a constraint you can set up today. It's called the 1% rule, and it is a brilliant way to short-circuit those big impulse buys.
So here's how it works. For any purchase that isn't an absolute necessity, like groceries or rent, if it costs more than 1% of your annual income, you're not allowed to buy it on the spot. You have to enforce a waiting period. Could be 24 hours, could be 30 days. The magic here is that you're not saying no forever. You're just saying not right now. And that little gap is often all your rational brain needs to catch up.
And what's so cool about this rule is that it grows with you.
So you can see here, if you're making, say, $40,000 a year, any fund purchase over $400 automatically triggers that waiting period. If you're making $100,000, that number jumps to $1,000. It's not about being cheap, it's about being intentional with your biggest purchases.
And hey, the 1% rule is just the beginning. There are so many of these packs you can create. The king of them all is automating your savings and investments. Pay yourself first. Another great one, schedule an annual review with an advisor. That locks you into checking on your progress. You can also ring-fence money by putting it in different accounts for different goals. It makes it psychologically harder to spend. And here's my favorite, it's a total game changer. If you decide not to make that big purchase after the waiting period, immediately move that money into your investment account. Make your good decision work for you.
So why bother with all this setup? I mean, it sounds like work, right? Well, because the long-term payoff of having a system, a pact, is just huge. This is about shifting your entire focus from the chaos of today to the calm, compounding growth of tomorrow.
Just look at the difference here. This slide really lays out the two paths you can take. On one side, you've got the emotional, stressful roller coaster of trying to be a stock-picking genius, reacting to every news headline. And on the other, you have the calm, stable, systematic path of automated packs. See, it's not about outsmarting the market. It's about having a system that outlasts your own emotions. Stability isn't just a feeling. It's a system built on compounding habits.
And if you want to see what that calm, systematic path actually produces, look at this. We're not talking about one lucky bet. We're talking about consistency. Just by automating a pack to invest $500 every single month, you can end up with over $700,000 after 25 years, assuming a pretty average return. That is the quiet, unstoppable power of compounding. That's the real treasure at the end of the journey.
You know, this really gets to the heart of it all. This quote says everything. Successful investing has less to do with being an intellectual genius and more to do with your behavior. And what are the key behaviors? Discipline, consistency, and patience. And the absolute beauty of a Ulysses Pact is that it creates a system that gives you all three of those, even on the days you feel like you don't have any of them.
So, as we wrap this up, the question isn't whether you're strong enough to resist temptation. The question is whether you're smart enough to plan for it. Your future self, the one who wants financial peace and freedom, is counting on the clear-headed decisions you make today. So, are you ready to listen to them and finally tie yourself to the mast?